I didn't tell anyone how important the certification was. Not because it was a secret, but because I already knew how it would sound in that house. Welding wasn't a career there. It was something adjacent to a career. Something you did, until you found something better. Something you said out loud only if you were ready to be corrected. The exam date had been on the calendar for weeks. I had arranged my shifts around it, skipped small things I usually gave into. Quiet adjustments. Nothing dramatic. Just enough to make it mine. The morning my brother announced his move, it wasn't framed as news, it was logistics. "We'll need you by 8, he said, scrolling through his phone like he was already late. "The truck's coming early." I remember standing there, holding a cup of tea I hadn't finished, thinking how easily plans could be overwritten in that house. Not cancelled. Just replaced. "I have my certification exam," I said. He didn't look up. "Reschedule it." It landed flat, like it was obvious. "I can't." That's when he looked at me, not confused, just slightly irritated. Like I'd made something unnecessarily complicated. Mom stepped in before anything could settle. "He's moving into his own place," she said, her voice already tight. "This is important." I nodded, because I understood that part. I really did. "So is this," I said. There was a pause, a thin one, the kind that doesn't hold space. "It sharpens it." Then she said it. "He's building a life. You're just playing pretend." It wasn't loud at first, not a scream yet, just precise, placed exactly where it would do the most damage. Something in me didn't break. It cooled. I didn't argue. I didn't list the hours I'd spent learning, the burns on my hands, the way I'd stayed after shifts just to practice clean lines no one was paying me for. None of that would translate here. "I'm going," I said. This time she did raise her voice. Not to stop me. Just to make sure the verdict echoed. I left that night with a small bag. Not packed like I was leaving forever, just enough to not come back immediately. The exam the next morning felt strangely quiet. No one wishing me luck. No background noise. No one minimizing it. Just the sound of metal. The steady focus it demanded. No room for second guessing. Either your hand is steady or it isn't. Mine was. When I passed, it didn't feel like a win. More like something had clicked into place. A line drawn, finally visible. I didn't call home. They didn't call me either, not at first. Days turned into a week. Then 2, when my brother did reach out, it wasn't to ask how I was. "Do you still have that contact for cheap transport?" he asked. We messed up the timing, the landlords being difficult. I told him I didn't. It wasn't a lie, it just wasn't an effort. What I heard later came in fragments. The lease hadn't been as solid as he'd said. Deadlines missed. Payments delayed. The landlord, someone who didn't care about family intentions or future plans, had stepped in. Clear terms, immediate consequences. There was no one to smooth it over this time. No extra set of hands. No quiet fixer in the background. Mom called after that. Her voice was different. Not softer, exactly. Just less certain of itself. "You could have helped," she said. I let the silence sit longer than I used to. "I was helping myself," I said. She didn't respond right away. When she did, it wasn't an apology, but it also wasn't the same certainty. "You think this is enough?" she asked. I looked around the small workshop where I'd started picking up more hours. The equipment wasn't new. The pay wasn't impressive yet. But it was real. Measurable, mine. "It's a start," I said. We didn't resolve anything in that call. The gap between us stayed, not wide enough to disappear into, but too defined to ignore. I went back to work the next morning. No one there knew about the argument, or the leaving, or the sentence that had finally pushed something into place. They just saw the certification, and treated it like it meant something. For the first time, that was enough.